Splitting a piece of land into two properties or more, that process is called a subdivision. So you have one piece of land, this is your piece of land, and you're dividing it into these two pieces of land, this side and this side now. That we call a subdivision. This process can be done in 3 stages. Well, can only be done in 3 stages actually. The stage where you deal with the municipality, the stage where you deal with the office of the Surveyor General. I'm sure you've never heard of these ones, but that's where land surveyors take charge. And then the office of the registrar of deeds. So the deeds office, a lot of people deal with this because even when you're not doing a subdivision, you're just buying a property, the deeds office is still involved. So 3 people you're dealing with, 3 offices: the municipality, the office of the Surveyor General, and the deeds office. Now, each of these offices has a professional that deals with them. Municipality, it's mostly town planners that will do the application. These are the first people that come into the whole play. They will submit to the municipality, but land surveyors can also do the submission to the municipality. So this is where town planners and land surveyors fight, but so they do the application to the municipality. The municipality has to approve, has to say, okay, yes, this piece of land can be divided into 2, or no, this piece of land is too small to be divided into 2. Remember, Masipala has all regulations that state the minimum stand size that each side must be. So the reason why you as a civilian cannot just say, I'm splitting my piece of land, is because you need someone who has a know-how, background information of all the bylaws restricting you from making the piece of land too small. Okay, once that process is done, now it gets to a point where a survey has to be done, where the pegs will be put on the ground to physically mark where you are splitting the piece of land. That information is stored, submitted to the Surveyor General's office. Only a land surveyor, a professional land surveyor registered with South African Geomatics Council, can do that part of the job. So the land surveyor does the subdivision, the survey part of it, they submit to the Surveyor General's office, and then you wait for that office to approve the job. Once it's been approved, a third professional comes into play. That's your conveyancer. So the land surveyor now takes the diagram, the documents that have been approved by the Surveyor General's office, to a conveyancer. A conveyancer takes these documents to the deeds office and they register this subdivision. Now, a property, when it's just one property, it's called, for an example, F1. Now you're dividing it into 2 properties. You call the portion that you've just divided portion 1 of F1. You get me, Mos. It gets too exciting and now I get carried away just explaining it. But this is what you need to know when, as a layperson, it's that you deal with 3 offices: the municipality, the office of the Surveyor General, and the deeds office. And you deal with 3 professionals or 2 professionals, a town planner or just a land surveyor. Land surveyor can do it if it's just a simple subdivision, dividing one piece of land into 2. So a town planner or a land surveyor, then strictly a land surveyor at the Surveyor General's office, then a conveyancer at the deeds office. This process is the same process that is used to take a huge farm and divide it into multiple pieces of land that we then call a township. Remember, Bandase, a township still does not refer to informal settlements where kukhona imikhuku. Imhlanga neSandton are also townships. Like I said, I get carried away. See you next time.